Hi, Princeton Tigers. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to meet yesterday. So today we're going to be doing a video lesson on what we would have done together yesterday in class. So first, what is the inverse of addition? You guys should know this by now based off of our video lessons and from 2 days ago. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So then what is the inverse of subtraction? The inverse of subtraction is addition. All right, now what is the inverse of multiplication? The inverse of multiplication is division. So lastly, what is the inverse of division? What can undo division? Multiplication. So you can solve our objective today is that you can solve one-step equations by using what? How are we going to solve one-step equations? What have we been learning about? Inverse operations. Okay, so first we're going to model x plus 3. So let's do this on a whiteboard. Okay, so we have x plus 3 equals 7. All right, so x is some number that we don't know yet. So we're just going to represent this by a box. So we have some number plus 3. I'm going to draw 3 circles to represent 3 equals 7. So now we end up with 7 circles. So think of this in a real world context. Imagine you have a certain number of cookies, let's say, and then you add 3 more, these 3, and you end up with 7. We're trying to figure out what did we start with? What goes in that box to make this work? So if we look at this problem right here, we're adding 3. And we're ending up with 7. In this, I still see the 3 cookies that we added to our original amount. So what's left over is the 4. So we have to start with 4 in order to get 7. If we start with 4, we add 3 more, we'll end up with 7. So that means that x, our unknown number, is going to equal 4. So now that we know x equals 4, let's try this without using a model. So we have x plus 3 equals 7. And we know we're trying to get to x equals 4. Because we're trying to get x by itself. So we're trying to undo the addition that we did. How do you undo addition? Yeah, you have to use subtraction. So you can subtract 3. But can I just subtract 3 over here? No, whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other in order to keep it balanced. So if I subtract 3 on both sides, I'll have 7 minus 3. And on this side, these 3's will cancel out, and I'll just have x. So I'll end up with x equals 4, which we already know from our model is our solution. Okay, so now let's do 2 practice problems using inverse operations in order to solve for our variable. So in this first equation, we are adding 4 to y, and we get 12. So we're trying to figure out what y is. So I want to have y by itself on one side of the equation. So how can I get y by itself? I need to get rid of this plus 4. How do I undo plus 4 or get rid of this plus 4? I can subtract 4 on both sides of the equation. This will make this become 0, and y plus 0 is just y. So now I have 12 minus 4. What's 12 minus 4? 12 minus 4 is 8, so y equals 8. Over here, I am now subtracting, so I'm taking away 4 from x. In order to get back to just x, because I want to get to just x equals at the bottom, what do I have to do? I have to add 4. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So negative 4 plus 4 or minus 4 plus 4 becomes 0. So I'll end up with just x. And then I have 3 plus 4. What is 3 plus 4? 7. So x equals 7. So my 2 solutions are y equals 8 and x equals 7. So now go ahead and finish up the back of the packet. I know you guys could all do the square roots because you did a great job on them yesterday. And then use the inverse operations like we just did in the video to solve these problems. Once you are done with that, go on ST Math. And I'll meet with you guys at the end of the class or during conferencing block. Good luck.